recorded that, so.
Perfect. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay.
Guten Tag.
So, I just passed out some parts to an etude, which I know we've talked about etudes before, so I passed out parts to a new etude that's going to help us out with the piece we're about to learn. And I want you to take a look at your parts and see if you can tell me what key that you're going to play in. Think about it first. Think about, y'all are going to have separate answers because the instruments you play are built a little differently. Sydney?
B flat.
B flat, that's correct. Flutes?
Ours appears to be in A flat.
That's awesome. You guys tell me how you knew what key you were going to be in?
There's two flats.
Key signatures.
Key signatures. Key signatures for the win.
What is this? What does the key signature tell you that says what key it's going to be in?
How many flats there are?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome job. Okay, so since y'all are going to be in B flat and y'all are going to be in A flat, I want you to think about if you're going to play the first 5 notes of that scale. I'm going to ask Bobby, can you tell me what the first 5 notes of that B flat scale are? If you're just thinking about the scale itself.
Of a B flat scale,
Yeah, the first 5 notes.
we have a G,
What's the one you start on?
The B flat scale. What do you start on?
called B flat,
All right, and then
another B flat. Not like this scale or just a B flat scale?
Just a B normal.
if you
B
just
flat
think
scale.
about your B flat scale,
Okay,
and you start on a B flat, and then what's the second note you're going to play?
all the way to C,
All right.
D, flat,
Nope, I'm telling
E
you the next
flat.
one.
Okay. And
an F,
all right. And flutes, I've already been thinking because that is a real
I should not do this.
if you're going to play your A flat scale, what are the first 5 notes of your A flat scale? Starting on A flat.
A flat.
B
flat.
flat.
E flat.
So it's A, but this is A.
E flat.
Just that.
All right.
E is the same thing.
So,
you have to register B flat.
Those are the first 5 notes of what that scale are. So I want you to think about that and sort of get that scale in your head because that's going to help you. That's going to help you play through this part. All right. So I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to look over your parts for the etude.
G. What do I do for G?
open,
You sort of look at it to yourselves.
Yeah.
All right. Just look at some notes. Okay.
I think our clarinets are off, out of tune from each other.
Okay.
Play.
You play a C.
which one's this
Or
one?
play your C. Give me a second. This piano's probably out of tune. This should be a C. Yeah, I think
How do I tune this clarinet?
you adjust the barrel. I don't remember if it's.
Is mine correct?
Play your F again. Yeah, yours is so F is this. He's playing a C right now.
That's my F.
Pull. Push in. Sorry, I told you the wrong thing. All right. Okay. You're just gonna have to really think about trying to listen together. Yes. Okay. Let me. Put your B flat.
I'm sorry, I'm not that tune.
You're fine.
So what is this? So it's, hold on.
1 second. Sorry, the piano's back here.
And then everything.
Oh no.
Wait, none of y'all playing again?
no.
Okay, so B flat is thumb 1.
So it's
if you just play the note.
I don't know. This one.
Okay.
Over my head. Sorry.
Let's just play F because it's F is the note we predominantly play.
Play F.
It's very good. So 1, 2, 3, 1, pinky.
So that's flat.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okie doke.
Okay.
Y'all are just gonna have to listen really carefully and just try and hold it
Let's
together.
do more.
All right. So let's all see if we can play through our ancient echoes etude together. Okay.
I better not.
All right. 1, 2. All right. Is everything okay, Cindy?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
All right. So I'm gonna give flutes. I'm gonna give y'all a couple more seconds to look at it on your own while I work with the clarinets.
I can't.
But when I really want you to look at it and think about it, but listen while they play it also. Sort of try and think through it along with them. Okay. Clarinets. I'm gonna have y'all play it by yourselves. All
We're
right.
gonna do better this time.
Is that a promise?
No,
For
it's just an
I
attempt.
make no promises.
Okay. Well, I believe in you. All right. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Okay, do y'all want to take a look at that measure 9?
This hurts my back. I try so hard.
Just okay, and you're doing a great job. You already made a ton of improvement in playing those notes accurately. Let's look at measure 9 clarinets, okay? And I'll conduct each of those individually. So just think about those notes and just sort of watch me. We'll play through it slowly, all right? 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's try from that measure going at the right tempo, okay? Or playing all together without me mixing. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, your fingers look like they're really moving where they're supposed to be. You're just having some trouble lining it up, and that's okay. We're getting there. All right, you're making progress. All right, flutes. Do you want to try and play it through? And clarinets, I want you to listen to what they're playing and look at how it relates to what you're playing, okay?
Yes.
All right, flutes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Amy, you just give it a measure. There's a measure of rest.
I thought I played it. Did I just imagine?
You just imagine playing it. Okay, that's okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. 3. All right,
That was so awesome.
let's take a look at measure 3 and see if we can play those notes slower, okay?
Yeah, I feel like
Just make sure we get our fingers in the
played
right
in
place.
I just am so slow switching from note to note.
That's okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. Alright, that's it. You're getting the right notes. You're getting the right fingerings down. It's just getting used to changing those notes. It's okay. But y'all are doing a good job. Okay. Who can raise their hand and think about the way that the parts you play fit together? Bogdan.
A lot of times when they're resting, we have more like, I guess the melody, or we play more notes, and then when we kind of have a more rhythmic, and just like kind of play a long note, and they kind of take over.
Alright, that's exactly right. A lot of times when one of you is playing more moving quarter notes, the other ones are playing some dotted half notes to just sort of keep it stable. And so if
It's
you...
like pedal tones.
It is like pedal tones. Thank you very much, Sydney. So what do you think? Do you think when you're playing, if you have the part that stays the same for a long time, or if you have the part that moves around, which part do you think is a little more important? Which part should you bring out to the front?
The moving part.
The moving part. All right. And let's try and play it through one more time together and see if we can do it, all right? We're going to hold on.
My parents sounds so much.
Really slow.
Yeah, we can go really
That
slow.
sounds amazing.
All right. 1, 2.
Bogdan made me laugh and I couldn't finish, but it's okay, I forgive him.
I was trying really hard.
Okay.
We almost got it.
Y'all got really, really close.
We improved a lot.
Y'all made a ton of improvement in nailing those notes and just getting that breath lined up and getting your fingers together.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Can you understand how the notes that we thought about and put up on the board, can you think about how those relate to what you're playing? Because those are like all of the notes that you're playing. All right. 13. All right. Let's look. Can y'all take out your parts 2, Ancient Echoes, which are... That's beautiful. You're like the next Fergie.
Wait, oh gosh, this is low.
It does. The clarinet part gets a little low, but let's start looking at measure 14. So don't even think about those super low G's quite yet, okay? We'll get to those in a minute, all right? Let's move to measure 14.
Measure 14. Okay, I can play that.
Who can tell me something? Who can tell me something that, based on their part, they think might be going on in their neighbor's part?
At maybe like 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 and 20, the flutes are doing some fun stuff because we just kind of have
Dotted.
yeah, thank you. I was going to call them whole notes, but they're not whole notes.
They're
This
not
is
whole
3 and 4.
notes.
We just have notes that last the whole measure instead of like fun stuff.
So what do you think you're going to do to support the flutes?
Gonna be quieter.
You're going to be quieter, but you're still going to be steady.
Yeah.
And you're going to be really supportive. All right. Flutes, what do y'all think? Based on what we've worked on already, how are you going to use that?
We are in the key of C, but we have notes like we're in the key of A flat.
That's correct. It's written out like it's all accidentals.
Yeah.
And
So it's not as scary now that we did the A tube with the flat.
yeah. And since they're playing lots of dotted half notes underneath you, you have the melody, so just really think about it and just hold it together, all right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, but I don't know why they didn't.
Okay. Let's try.
Never mind, I'll ask you after.
Okay. Let's try measure 14, all right? We're just gonna work through it, all right?
Okay.
We've got this. Okay. 1, 2. I do want to play just a hair more. If you look at measure 22 and flutes, if y'all want to both play the top part, so don't worry about trying to split it up. I don't know if it's anything. So, but yeah, and I want to play all the way through measure 23, 24, 25, then downbeat of 25, where that note ends, okay? Do y'all think we can do that for measure 14 all the way through that long note, that long held out note? All right, that's all we got.
Take a good breath.
You sure do, you got this. And what are we going to do, clarinets, what are we going to do to really keep it together? And how are you going to make sure that what you're doing is really good? What are you going to do to make sure?
Good breath support. Oh, that
Also count. That was the answer.
count back, Don.
Yeah, Bogdan. Okay, 1, 2.
I'm
Yes,
so
we
sorry.
started.
I started at measure 22.
That's what I did.
Abby did a great job.
I thought we were at 14.
Abby did a great job. Okay, we can go down way fast.
Start
We're supposed to start at 14.
I thought we were starting at
CD.
up? No, I started at
With the clarinet.
I was like